Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we will again study about chemical reactions which is related to the syllabus of class 10 CBSE. Now see, today we will be dealing with the types of chemical reactions, but before going to that, let us see during chemical reaction actually what happens. See, we know that during a chemical reaction no new atoms are created, no atoms are destroyed. Okay. In this, what happens during a chemical reaction? The reactants contact each other, bonds between the atoms in the reactants are broken, the atoms rearrange and form new bonds to make the products. Okay. So during a chemical reaction, atoms of one element do not change into that of any other element. Neither the atoms disappear nor they reappear. The atoms are there only. During chemical reactions, first of all, there will be breaking of bonds. Already existing bonds in the reactants will break, the atoms will rearrange themselves and new bonds will be formed between the atoms again. So, first in the reactants, whatever bonds are there, they will break, the atoms will rearrange and new bonds are formed. So, we get the product. And we find that there are mainly four types of reactions. Okay, so we will be dealing with them one by one. First one is a combination reaction. As the name suggests, combination, combine, it comes from the word combine. So this is a reaction in which we will get a single product. Okay, but that single product is formed from two or more reactants. So they are combining together. Two or more than two reactants are combining together to form a single product. So it is called as a combination reaction. Like see, CaO plus H2O water, they combine to form CaOH twice, slicked line. So here you see two reactants are combining together to form a single product. So this is a combination reaction. Another, C plus O2 CO2. So carbon in the presence of oxygen, CO2 C plus O2, this is, we can take this example from burning of coal. Coal consists of carbon. So during burning, it will add up to the oxygen of the atmosphere to form carbon dioxide. This is also a combination reaction. Now, sometimes in some reactions, a large amount of heat is evolved. So those reactions in which heat is released along with the formation of products are called as exothermic chemical reactions. So some reactions are there, like as in case of burning of natural gas. So in natural gas, most of the part is CH4 methane. Methane, when it burns, oxygen is there in the atmosphere, so it can burn. The products are CO2 plus 2H2. This is exothermic reaction. I am not saying that this is combination. This is exothermic, as I have written here. This particular example is of exothermic chemical reaction in which heat is produced, heat is released along with the formation of products. So please take care students, this is the example of exothermic chemical reaction. Methane plus O2, this is a balanced one, so 2O2 gives CO2 plus 2H2O. This is burning of natural gas. Exothermic chemical reaction, heat is produced. Next type is decomposition reaction. Here also from the name we can find out. Here there will be a single reactant. It will break down to give some simple products. Okay, one reactant, it will break down to give simpler products. Like ferrous sulfate crystal, ferrous sulfate. They lose water. When we heat, no, the color of the crystal will change. Then it decomposes to give ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. So this is ferrous sulfate. Students, please see the equation. 2FeSO4 ferrous sulfate on heating gives ferric oxide, Fe2O3, ferric oxide plus SO2 plus SO3. That is ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. So it is breaking down. We can see here one reactant is giving rise to more than one product, decomposition reaction. Okay. Now when the decomposition takes place by heating, then it is known as thermal decomposition. Decomposition in the presence of heat. Due to heat, decomposition takes place, like CaCO3. CaCO3 limestone. Okay. It on heating it gives CaO, calcium oxide. So calcium carbonate on heating gives calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. CaCO3 gives CaO plus CO2. Decomposition of calcium carbonate to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide on heating. This is very good example of decomposition reaction. In many industries it is used. Calcium oxide is called quicklime. It is used in the manufacture of cement. It's a very important compound. So this is decomposition by heating. So thermal decomposition. Third type, displacement reaction. So in this you see one element can displace any other element from its compound. For example, if iron displaces another element, copper, from the compound of copper, like copper sulfate. Okay. So see, Fe plus CuSO4 gives FeSO4 plus Cu. Fe has replaced copper from copper sulfate. We will see that copper sulfate solution, when it starts, when we put copper sulfate, in that if you keep some iron nails, slowly we find that when iron nails are dipped in copper sulfate solution, iron nail gets a copper coating. And there is a change in the color of the copper sulfate solution. We can see the change. Iron nail becomes brownish in color and the blue color of copper sulfate solution will fade, because what is produced now? FeSO4 has been produced. Iron sulfate has been produced from copper sulfate. So these changes we can observe. So what type of reaction this is? Displacement reaction. Also you see in this, zinc can displace copper from copper sulfate to form zinc sulfate and copper. Lead can displace copper from CuCl2, copper chloride, to form lead chloride, PbCl2 and copper. So zinc plus copper sulfate gives zinc sulfate plus copper. Lead plus copper chloride gives PbCl2, lead chloride plus copper. So zinc and lead are more reactive elements than copper. So they displace copper from its compounds. Fourth type, double displacement reaction. If we mix sodium sulfate solution and barium chloride solution, we find that a white substance is produced that is insoluble in water. Okay. If we mix sodium sulfate solution and barium chloride solution, we find that a white substance insoluble in water is formed. So if it is insoluble in water, we call it a precipitate. Okay. So any reaction which produces a precipitate is called as a precipitation reaction. Precipitation reaction. So what is the reaction? Na2SO4 plus BaCl2 gives BaSO4 plus 2NaCl. So Na2SO4 sodium sulfate. What is the reaction then? Sodium sulfate plus barium chloride gives barium sulfate. and sodium chloride. Here which is the solid? BaSO4 is the solid. This one we can put S. NaCl will be in aqueous form. So any reaction that produces a precipitate can be called a precipitation reaction. So this is a precipitation reaction. Okay. So these are all a sum total of different types of reactions which we have seen today. I hope these examples could help you to understand the topics clearly. I have also given all the equations required. I hope you all could understand the topic which I discussed today. Okay. So students, thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe to the channel and please share the channel. Thanks for watching my video. Thank you.